The 2025 season has not even reached its halfway point, but the Formula One world has been rocked by a big, surprising rumor from Lewis Hamilton. He is said to be considering ending his career earlier than expected. The atmosphere in the Mercedes paddock is starting to feel different. Hamilton's expression is no longer as passionate as usual, and several inside sources say that the British driver has lost the joy of racing. Is this a sign that Hamilton will soon say goodbye to the world of F1? Let's discuss it. The 2025 season should have been a great stage for Lewis Hamilton. After more than a decade of making history with Mercedes, the seven-time world champion took a big and risky step, moving to Ferrari, a legendary team, with the hope of reviving past glories and pursuing the eighth crown that has always eluded him. However, reality did not turn out like a fairy tale. What happened was far from expectations. 5 rounds in, Hamilton seems trapped in the shadow of his own past, where the speed, toughness, and dominance that were once associated with him now feel increasingly faded. And more than that, the big question is beginning to emerge. Will Lewis Hamilton retire from F1 at the end of this season? The shocking question was raised not by just anyone, but by Ralf Schumacher, former F1 driver and younger brother of Michael Schumacher, Ferrari's greatest icon of the modern era. In an exclusive interview on Sky Germany's Backstage Pittsburgh Lane podcast, Ralf expressed a rather penetrating concern. He can't control his car. We talk a lot about Lando Norris, but Hamilton's situation is worse than that, said Ralf bluntly. If it continues like this, there's a big risk he'll wake up one morning and say, "I don't want this anymore. I want my life back. I'm not going to do this to myself anymore." When the news of Hamilton's move to Ferrari was announced in early 2024, the F1 world was both shocked and excited. This was not just a team move, but a major change in the dynamics of the championship. An ambitious project was built. Hamilton was believed to be the driver who could bring Ferrari back to the throne. However, until the 5th race of the season, the results were very disappointing. The only good moment was Hamilton's victory in the sprint race at the Chinese Grand Prix, but even that euphoria was quickly dashed when he was disqualified from the main race for a technical violation. Otherwise, Hamilton seemed to be in a slump. He was unable to finish higher than 5th. Even in Jeddah, when Charles Leclerc managed to get Ferrari on the podium, Hamilton finished 7th, more than 30 seconds behind his teammate. He was really down, added Ralf. When you run out of mental and physical resources, when you feel slower all the time, you lose everything. It's no fun anymore. Ralf also pointed out that Hamilton's age and experience can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, he has calmness and maturity. But on the other hand, when performance is no longer satisfactory, motivation can quickly fade. He is 40 years old. He is very rich. And if every day feels like a fruitless struggle, it is not surprising that he decides to quit. In the midst of the storm of criticism and pressure that continues to hit, especially after a series of less than satisfactory results obtained by Lewis Hamilton at the start of the season with Ferrari, the Scuderia's team principal, Fred Vasseur, remains firm. There is no doubt in his eyes. There is no wavering in his voice. Instead, Vasseur shows an attitude that is rarely seen in the world of F1, full of demands and high expectations, sincere loyalty and solid conviction. In a recent interview session with the media, Vasseur openly denied that Hamilton's performance has dropped drastically since joining the Red Team from Maranello. According to him, what is happening now is not a setback, but rather an adaptation process that will take time and patience. "I will support him 2,000%, said Vasseur confidently. "We all know this is not the perfect start to the season. But Lewis is a true champion. He came here with great determination and extraordinary spirit. All of us, the whole team, will work hard together, every morning, even earlier than usual, to find the best balance for Lewis and his car." This statement is not just a form of normative support. This is a strong signal that Ferrari will not be easily swayed by outside opinions and remains fully confident in the great project they are building with Hamilton. Vasseur also flatly rejected the slanted narrative that the 7-time world champion's career is on the brink. People jump to conclusions. They see 1 or 2 bad results and immediately shout, "decline," or "collapse." But they forget that even a driver like Max Verstappen has ups and downs, said Vasseur. Look at Max. He only finished 7th in Bahrain and then won in Japan. This is Formula One. Everything can change in a few weeks. This is not drama. This is the dynamic of the most brutal competition in the world. Vasseur stressed that success cannot be measured by 1 or 2 races. According to him, the most important thing now is to maintain a positive mentality, calmness, and trust in each other within the team. Big wins, he said, will come as a result of a consistent process and relentless hard work. We are not world champions if we win one race, and we are not a failed team if we finish off the podium. It is all about the journey. What we need now is consistency, dedication, and, above all, calmness, concluded Vasseur in a tone that reflects true leadership in the midst of extraordinary pressure. Behind the excitement of Lewis Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari is a complex dynamic that is now coming to the surface. One of Hamilton's biggest challenges appears to come not from Red Bull, nor from the Mercedes he left, but from within his own cage, Charles Leclerc. The young Monaco racer is no longer just Ferrari's golden boy, but has become the team's center of gravity. In the midst of the prancing horse's great transition, Leclerc has shown extraordinary maturity. With a more consistent performance in each series, a faster adaptation to the characteristics of the SF25 car, and the emotional closeness he has built up over the years with the engineers and staff in Maranello, Leclerc has slowly established himself as a main pillar in the team structure. He is not only faster, but also more emotionally and strategically connected to the heart of Ferrari. In a situation like this, comparisons are inevitable. On the one hand, there is Lewis Hamilton, the living legend of F1, winner of 7 world titles, global icon and symbol of modern glory. Yet, ironically, he is the one who now seems to have been left behind. It's not just about speed, it's about a drastically changed internal dynamic. Ferrari is not Mercedes. Loyalty and history have a much deeper value here. And Leclerc has it. For a world champion like Hamilton, being number 2, unofficially, can be a nightmare. It's not just pressure, it's a poison that slowly destroys his mentality and self-confidence. It's not just about speed, Ralf Schumacher said in one of his interviews. It's also about how he's seen in the eyes of the world. He's no longer the leader of the team. And that hurts Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc chimed in. When Lewis retires, it's the end of an era. I grew up watching his duels, learning from his driving style, and now I have the chance to be on the same track as him. It is a great honor. It's hard to imagine Formula One without him. Lewis is not just a champion, he's a symbol of dedication, hard work, and a never-say-die spirit. But if that's his decision, then he deserves to go with his head held high as one of the best in the history of the sport. Lewis Hamilton's contract with Ferrari is believed to run until the end of the 2026 season. But as is often the case in the world of Formula One, contracts are just ink on paper, while the reality on the track can be very different. If performance does not improve, if the gap to Charles Leclerc continues to widen, and if his fighting spirit begins to wane, it is not impossible that a surprising decision will be made, retirement sooner than expected. But the racing world has long known the character of Lewis Hamilton. A true fighter who always finds a way to rise, even from the lowest point. He is a driver shaped by pressure, honed by criticism, and forged by doubt. Through every dark period of his career, he has always managed to turn things around, silencing those who doubted him and rising as only a true champion can. Are we really witnessing the end of everything, or the beginning of the most epic comeback in F1 history? Leave your thoughts below.